Garden of England awaits on the third leg of their road trip for our antiques experts, Mark Stacey and Will Axon.
There is some nice countryside around, isn't there?
Then let me know when you find them.
Road trip veteran and antique expert Mark knows exactly how to uncover a bargain, and he has a great moral fibre to boot.
I promise not to nick anything.
Newmarket newbie Will, though, has been suffering from a bit of cabinet fever so far and needs to get his head back in the game.
It's bad, I need to focus.
Both Mark and Will started the week with £200, and despite making a profit at the last auction, they still find themselves in the red.
Let's do the biz.
Mark's opening losses were nearly offset by his second leg profits, but he still only has £188.14p to start this leg. A disastrous beginning to Will's road trip means he'll need to get in gear to improve on his budget of £144.32p. With such a poor start to their road trip, it seems ironic that they're sitting pretty in a classic Triumph. And this 1963 TR4 is certainly attracting some admiring attention.
Hey! What up, boys?
What are you boys?
Our travelling treasure hunters are cruising through a whopping 5 counties. They started the week in Hastings, East Sussex, and will circumnavigate the southeast before ending up at an auction in the London suburb of Ruislip. On this leg, they'll start in the coastal town of Deal and end up at an auction in Chiswick, clocking up nearly 130 miles along the way.
Well, Mr. Stacey, we have arrived.
Well driven, I have to say. Can I say that? Can I make that absolutely clear?
I've thrown off the mantle of driver error.
Long may it continue in my work. But please, Will, tell me, where are we?
Allow me. Once the busiest port in England, Deal is now a quiet seaside resort town, though its maritime history pervades the quaint surroundings. The coast of France is approximately 25 miles away and is visible on a clear day.
Mark, you're on that way.
All right, oh, listen, good luck, happy hunting.
Happy hunting,
Don't
mate.
find too much.
See you later.
See you later.
Thankfully, Mark's found an antique shop run by Mick, and he's hoping it's flush with bargains that get him back in the black.
Hello.
Hello there.
I'm Mark.
Hello, Mick. How do you do?
Nice to meet you, Mick.
The shop seems well stocked with items to catch Mark's eye and even has a canine security system. Attack dog Jasper. The wagging tail's a bit of a giveaway, though. Heading for auction in Chiswick, the boys need to tailor their buys to the demands of that fussy London market.
You've got to look for those quirky items that just might appeal there.
Found something quirky, have you, Mark?
It's a pottery garden seat. I mean, these were used in the Victorian period as sort of conservative seats, and they're often made of majolica. I mean, this has got a nice, high-fired blue glaze on it, with sort of bubbles on the top where the glaze is blistered. And it's a lovely octagonal shape, the sort of Chinese style. It's priced up at £55, which it needs to be a lot less than that. So we might have a word with me.
And right on cue...
Go on then, make me an offer.
Well, what about 20 quid, Mick? Cash.
25.
Oh, come on, you know you want to let me... Look, you want me to win.
Oh, yeah, OK.
Should we shake hands at 20 then?
Yeah.
Thanks, Mick. Thanks a lot. I'm really pleased with that.
Well, it looks like there's a good deal to be had in Deal. Eh, Mark? Meanwhile, Will's arrived at Inside Out Antiques. I wonder if he can make a quick deal too.
Hello there.
Hiya.
Hi, you must be Vince.
I am, yeah.
I'm Will, how do you do? What's that, a skull?
Yes.
Would have been the lid of something or other.
Well, probably,
Poison bottle, do you think?
I would have said more of a walking stick.
Cane
stick,
handle.
yeah. Cane handle. Very interesting.
That is quite interesting, quite quirky.
I've got 60 on that.
Let's have a look in there. Why can't we get in there? I mean, it's bronze. Sort of memento mori, you know, maybe to perhaps just remind you of your own mortality every morning as you take your cane out of the cane stand.
Yeah. I'm asking 75 for it.
I thought it was 60 a minute ago.
Well,
So did I.
Yeah, play that back. I want proof.
I've got 60 on that.
I thought so. Who said antiques was a fair game?
Yeah, might be.
What sort of age do you think it's got? Do you think it's early 20th or late 19th?
Always difficult to tell, isn't it, on that type of
Yeah.
thing? It's very difficult to tell, in fact.
Got a bit of wear on the
Sure.
patina there, the patina.
Potato, potato. Either way, looks like he's holding on to that one.
That's got something about it. Where did that come from?
China, I'd say. 20th century. Looks like a bronze censer case, or incense burner, as it's better known. What's the ticket price?
No price on it.
No, it's
Must be cheap.
55.
What if I came in really cheeky and said I could have them both for 50 quid?
I'd say blooming cheek.
Can't do it. Can't do it. 75, you've got a deal.
70 quid. 70 quid, Vince. Go on, 5 quid luck money.
Or luck money.
Yeah, for me. 70 quid. Yeah, you're a man, you're a man. Good work, mate.
Crikey, Moses, £70. That's nearly half your remaining budget, Will. Although, they do say, go big or go home.
Whoa, what are you doing?
Oh, hello, Mark. This is a fortuitous meeting.
Are you my lift?
Yeah, why, are we done here?
I think so, don't you?
Yeah? You have any luck?
Should we go to Margate?
Yeah, come on then.
With items in their bag already, the chaps are making the short trip 16 miles up the Kent coast to Margate. For the last 250 years, the town of Margate has been a leading seaside resort in the UK, drawing Londoners to its beaches. But it's the antiques that have drawn our mark here, starting with paraphernalia.
Well, I suppose it's meant to look like a fan. There's often fans are framed in frames like this. The frame is later, I think. But it suits it quite well. There's a little bit of damage here and there on the frame. So I think it's a 19th century engraving of an 18th century scene. But I just think that's rather fun. If it was, how shall I put it delicately, cheap.
Well, it's one to bear in mind, but owner Andrew has a Jasperware flask that's caught Mark's eye.
Gosh, that's rather fun, isn't it? It's a Wedgwoody type thing.
It is, yes, and it's got a silver top.
Oh, it's rather sweet, isn't it?
Sweet, but not antique. 70s, I'd say.
So it's really like a sort of model of an 18th century one.
That's correct,
Oh,
yes.
so they obviously did a little series here. Jasperware Perfume Bottle Collection.
It's a nice collector's piece.
I rather like that, Andrew. Oh dear, I've just seen the price.
Really? Do tell.
And I'm disappointed because it's got 2 figures. I'll put that over there, can we?
The 2 figures being 2 and 5, but knowing you, Mark, you can get that price down.
Now, can we do a really good deal on those?
Okay.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that. There was a long pause and a very, very non-committal response.
What kind of deal?
Oh, no, I hate doing this because I don't like asking for anything off.
What?
Because I find it very hard to negotiate.
Oh, here we go.
Where do you need it to be?
I need it to be £20, really.
Okay.
And then I would pay 15 for that.
Okay, let's do that.
Are you sure? You're
Yeah,
happy with
yeah.
that? And I can come back and visit you again?
You can any
No hard
time, and
feelings.
I can eat tonight.
We've got a deal, thank you.
You're
Andrew.
welcome.
Nice work. That's 2 items bought for just £35. Take note, Will. He's popped along the road to try and uncover the mystery surrounding one of Margate's top tourist attractions, where something quite extraordinary exists. 2 metres under a garden. Will's meeting up with Sarah for the guided tour.
Thanks very much. I'm really looking forward to this visit.
Yeah.
I've read and seen a lot about the grotto.
Nothing quite prepares you for the actual thing,
I can
though.
imagine.
The story goes that in 1835, James Newlove lowered his young son Joshua into a hole in the ground that had appeared during the digging of a duck pond. Joshua emerged, describing tunnels adorned with shells. He had discovered the Shell Grotto. However he came upon it, James Newlove could see the commercial benefit of his find. The grotto, with its 4.6 million shells, opened its doors to the public in 1838 and came as something of a surprise to the people of Margate.
How do you bring 4 million shells to a small garden or a small point without anyone knowing or noticing?
That's a difficult question. I just don't know the answer to that. Maybe it was built long enough before the 1830s for it just to have been
forgotten. In local folklore.
Yeah. Or maybe it was built in secret, but that's difficult to imagine.
In modern times, grottos have served as chapels or shrines. But at first glance, the design here only adds to the confusion, with cockles, whelks, mussels and oysters creating an array of patterns. Since the first paying customers descended the chalk stairway, debate has raged about its origins, whether as an ancient temple or a meeting place for a secret sect.
There's one theory that the grotto was meant to represent a journey through life and death. So you crawl down your chalk passage, which represents birth.
Yes.
This rotunda, because we're in a circular passage here, this has got lots of flowering forms, a couple of phallic symbols over there. The panel that I'm standing in front of is generally referred to as a womb. And then,
I can see it now, yes.
As you go farther down, in the bottom room, it becomes much more geometrical, and suns and stars and moons. And so the theory is that you travel through life and death to the afterlife.
Right.
But people who think this was some kind of garden fancy or folly just see pattern.
And with nearly 180 years' worth of embellishment, there seems little chance of discovering the truth behind its mysterious beginnings. For what it's worth, it might have been dug out for smugglers to hoard their secret stash of contraband, a practice rife for centuries along the south coast. But whatever its origins, it's certainly a magical, mysterious place. With 3 purchases already in the old bag, Mark's still scouring the shops of Margate before they close, looking for more bargains.
Hi, Mark. Pleased to meet you. I'm Ron Scott. How are you?
Well, I'm so underdressed.
Nice hat. It's late in the day, and it seems Mark has got his work cut out for him if he's going to get round this place.
How long have we got?
Well, we should have been closed half an hour ago, but I'll stick with it for you.
Do you think I'll still be in on Series 12?
Crikey, you best get looking quick smart.
Oh, God. It never ends, look. It just carries on, carries on. Do you know, I'm beginning to absolutely hate antiques.
Hey, pull yourself together, man. There must be one item in here. Oh, looks like he's found one. The smallest thing, possibly, a silver-topped dressing table jar.
Now, this is broken. Probably beyond repair, but it is silver-topped, actually. And it still has this little stopper in it, which is unusual. Now, that's only priced at 15 quid.
You must admit that is realistically priced.
It is realistically priced, Ron, but it is broken. Let's be honest.
But if 12 quid's good for you, it's good for me.
I think we're going to do that. Are you happy with that, Ron?
I am. Good man.
Listen, thanks, Ron.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Finally, thank goodness for that.
Well, thanks very much, Mark. Let me get the door for you.
Thank you, Ron. See you again.
Bye-bye. Thanks very much.
Oh, I need to lie down.
A spectacular day of seaside spending is at an end. Time to rest those purse strings. Nighty-night. Morning has broken, and the boys are back on the road.
Scream if you want to go faster, Mark.
So far, Will has only visited one shop, and already he's offloaded half of his budget, spending £70 on 2 pieces. I'm sure he would have bought the grotto too, if he could have. He has £74.32p to part with. Whereas Mark's collected 4 pieces of bounty. With the thrifty bit of business, he got it all for just £67. So he still has £121.14p to spend accordingly. The boys are heading across Kent to the outskirts of the town of Westerham, where Mark is visiting a rather important house. When he wasn't in residence at number 10 Downing Street, Chartwell House was the family home of arguably Britain's greatest Prime Minister, Sir Winston Churchill. Even at the height of World War II, this retreat was to be his sanctuary, living here between 1924 and the end of his life.
That entranceway looks grand, doesn't it?
Bit of a pile, isn't it? Well, have fun, behave yourself.
Wish me luck.
Good luck.
And I hope at the end of this I'm going to end up going like that.
Victory! Take care, Mark.
V is also for view, which Alice is providing Mark with on their guided tour starting on the Pink Terrace.
This is an amazing view, isn't it?
It is, and it's one of the prime reasons that Winston Churchill bought this property in the first place.
I can understand. I mean, it looks out forever, doesn't it? What are we actually looking at here, Alice?
You're looking out over the world of Kent, and it's a view that Churchill once remarked was worth fighting for, and I agree.
I mean, it represents England, really, doesn't it?
It really does, when we are in the Garden of England.
Inside, the rooms remain much as they were when he lived here, with pictures, books and personal mementos evoking the career and wide-ranging interests of a great statesman, writer and painter. An accomplished artist, part of the house was set aside for his passion, a creativity that yielded more than 500 pictures. Mark's attention has been drawn to a portrait of the great man, which hangs in Lady Churchill's sitting room.
Well, that's by Oswald Burley, and he's wearing his iconic siren suit
Yes.
that he's very well known for.
What I like about the portrait is that actually if you didn't know who it was, which is impossible, of course, but if you didn't, that would just be a kindly grandfather, wouldn't it? Don't you think? The eyes are so warm.
They are. It's a very nice portrait. It's one of the family's favourite of him, really something.
I think it's lovely, actually.
Churchill was also well known for his writing and won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1953.
So welcome to Sir Winston's study. And this is really the beating heart of the house. This is where he would have written most of his works, history of the Second World War, history of Marlborough, and it was also a room that had to be quiet for him, so children not allowed in here. And if he was working, even Lady Churchill would slip notes under the door.
Oh, really? And this is the desk you used?
This is
Because
the
as you
desk.
said, nothing has changed.
No, I mean, he would read at the desk and perhaps, you know, open his correspondence, but he would certainly, he used to like working standing up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But that's quite odd, isn't it? I mean, most writers, I would have thought, would have preferred to be sitting down. I mean, these days there's a laptop. But why do you think he liked standing up?
I think he was a very natural orator, and I think, you know, to really get into your, into your stride, you have to be standing
I
up.
suppose so. So if you, the writing flows from that, I suppose, if you're standing up.
Yes, indeed.
It's a wonderful room. Alice, thank you so much for just a little glimpse of Chartwell.
It's been a pleasure showing you around.
And I hope sometime I can come back and have a proper look round. Thank you.
We leave one great British hero to join Will, another who has made the short journey from Westerham to Braested, where he's checking out the wares at Courtyard Antiques.
Well, that's quite interesting. Stoneware, blue and white. Obviously got a bit of age to it, probably sort of mid-19th century. Nicely decorated, and I love this sort of deep blue contrasting with the lighter blue. Just gives a bit of depth to it, doesn't it? You've got this almost stylised chinoiserie decoration, but then these are slightly got a sort of European slant on them, the flowers. But it's sweet, nice shaped border, and it looks in pretty good condition. Ah, that's quite interesting. It's obviously had a price on it. He hasn't been able to sell it, so he's reduced it to 45, which is kind of within my budget.
Well, only just. Let's see what owner Barry has to say.
Now, what really interested me was the fact that it looks like it's had a price on.
Yeah,
It's been unsold.
yeah.
He's reduced it. It's still unsold.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask if I could make an offer for that of £20.
I think I've got to make a phone call.
That's fine.
Looks like Will's decided to have a one-to-one with the seller himself.
I was wondering if I might be able to sort of take a punt on it as such, at sort of £20. That's really kind of you. Thanks very much. I'll pass you back to Barry to say your goodbyes. Cheers now. Thank you. Bye.
Result.
Hello, Chris. Is that all right? I wish I'd known you were that accommodation. I'd have bought it myself a long time ago.
Oh, look, Barry's making a move now. Too late, Barry. I'll have that, thank you.
Well, I never. I'd pay up quick if I were you. Uh-oh. Something tells me he's not finished yet. Elaine's the lady to talk to.
I've been looking at your canes, some very nice ones there. But yesterday, I bought a cane handle, but without a cane. We wouldn't happen to have in your workshop or knocking around the office anywhere a cane without a handle?
Well, actually, I do have a Macassar ebony one.
Really? Any chance I could have a look at that? And
Actually, yes.
Elaine's gone off for a rummage. But hang on, where's Will going? Now what's he up to?
Go on, mate.
This is getting interesting.
Do you know what? I've got a good feeling about this. If I just... He seems to fit on there pretty well, doesn't
Very
he?
nice. Yes.
What sort of money are you asking on the cane?
25.
£18. Go on, and then at least you know it's gone
20.
to... 20... You shook my hand before I could even think about it. Well, listen, Elaine, I'm not going to quibble over a couple of quid with you.
More than that.
I think £20 is a fair price because together, you know, they stand a chance, don't they?
Do you know, Will, I think you might be right. And while you were attempting to blow almost your entire budget, Mark's travelled the 7-mile journey ahead to Otford. Located on the River Derwent, it was voted Village of the Year in 2006 and the sort of place where you can find a bargain on the street. Otford Antiques.
These are quite funky. I mean, as soon as you see this type of shape, you're imagining the 1960s, 70s. It's got that sort of 70s look about it. Now, when we look underneath, oh yes, we've got a maker's name here. Old mobile fabric made in Denmark. A lot of the value in this type of retro vintage furniture is who the designer is. If it's a really good designer, then they can be worth quite a lot of money. If it's just a run-of-the-mill mass-produced, not so good. I think if you're going to do these things, you've got to go on your own gut feeling. But we'll go in and find out and see whether we can pick up 4 chairs. They belong to this lady?
Yes, they belong to Jackie here.
Oh, Jackie's my favourite girl's name, isn't it?
Oh, he's a smooth operator.
Jackie, how much do you really want?
60.
If I could get them for about 50 quid.
Can't do 60.
I'd love them for 50, honestly.
That look tells me Elaine has an opinion on this too.
If you add another £10 onto that, you can have them. That gives Jackie a little profit, and it gives you a good chance of a profit as well. Oh, got a business lady here.
It's like the mafia. You know, we've got a Doness here, not a Don. I can't believe this. I'm being mugged. What's the number for crime fighters? Oh. Well, can we split in the middle?
Yes.
So we say 55. Would you be happy at 55? Promise me, Jackie?
Yes, fine.
Because I don't want to go away if you then say that horrible Mark Stacey was in. But if you do think that we've been horrible, I'm James Lewis or something like that. Thank you very much. We'll call that a deal, but I'm going to keep on looking if that's all right.
Look out, the opposition has arrived, but with £34 and 32p left in his pocket, he's going to have to dig deep to find a bargain here. Will's heading upstairs to see what Mark has overlooked.
Well, what's this buried? Yeah, that's quite nice, you know. Buried under the books, for good reason, is a book slide. Oh, hello. I think we may have hit a minor jackpot here. Make sure Mark's not around. Look at this. This is a book slide, yeah?
Blimey, he's excited.
It's obvious what it does. You put your books, it can go left, it can go right. But what has got me quite excited about this, it's cracking quality. It's actually in Coromandel wood. which is a family of the rosewood, similar to my cane, actually. And this I have not seen very often. It has got a cracking little label. Farthing and Thornhill, Makers Cornhill in London. I mean, to put a maker's mark on a book slide, you know that this has got to be super quality. And you know the best bit? It's 28 quid. Ooh, and look at the dust. It's been there for months, years perhaps. Oh, I tell you, that just goes to show. Just dive in, have a look. I couldn't see it because of the books. But a little bit of effort, a little bit of searching, and that, my friends, I think is a super little lot. I'm not even going to guesstimate what it could make at auction, but I've seen them make a lot more than £28, and they're nowhere near as good as this. So, that, I don't think that's even a maybe, that's a definite.
Now, what's this Mark's got his eye on? Looks like Denby pottery. Denby's striking designs graced the 1970s with flair. Although typically painted in browns and oranges, the bold pattern is somewhat unusual.
Do you mind, rather taken with this vase, but I don't know why, really. Because I don't know anything about it. And it's a heck of a lump, really, for... Well, it's got £28 on it at the moment, but it goes very nicely with...
Oh, careful.
Who did that? It goes quite nicely with the chairs.
Yes, put it down. It's time to do battle with our Jackie again. Stand by.
Hello, Jackie. I don't know what it is. I'm feeling in a very 70s mood today.
Oh, good.
I'm looking back.
Yeah, no,
looking back, you know. Of course, I wasn't around in the 70s.
No, of course not.
What about 15?
Can't do 15.
You're
Far
adamant.
too cheap.
You're adamant.
Absolutely, yes.
What about 14?
No, 18?
Do you know, we're very close. Because we want to do a deal on this, don't we?
We do.
How much did we say? 16?
No.
Oh.
17.
Are you going to be determined on 17? Really?
Yes. It's a good price.
Go on then. 17. Thanks, Jackie. £17. If I can't make a profit on that, I'm going to become a bin man.
God, you do talk a lot of tosh. But whilst Mark's tipping over the edge, Will's on the slide.
I found a little book slide upstairs,
Okay.
buried under... Now, 28, that's got on it.
What's the absolute depth on this sliding book? It's got 28.
20 quid?
20? Yes.
Yeah?
There we go.
OK, so that's a deal. That's
Yes.
a deal, £20.
Okay.
He's still not finished yet, don't you know?
Chinese rice paper paintings. They're usually for export, and they show traditional Chinese customs, traditional Chinese costumes, and the really sought-after ones, traditional Chinese tortures and crime punishment. There's no price on it, which might be a good thing. That's worth an ask. I'm going to go and say, look, can that be 15 quid? I reckon that's worth a go.
Hey, Will, you do know you only have £14.32p left, don't you? Beryl's calling the painting's owner, so fingers crossed.
OK, thank you. Bye. All done. 14.
Oh, thank you very much. What did he say the price was on it? 10?
15.
Was it?
Well, it's better to be lucky than good. Will's finished shopping with a whole 32p warming his pocket, which wouldn't even buy a drink, but nevertheless, the boys have gone to the pub to reveal their lots.
Shall I show you?
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Ooh.
It's quite odd, isn't it?
It's nice.
It's an odd selection, don't you think?
It's an eclectic mix, Mark.
I know. I think this is amazing.
Let's have a look.
It's an engraving, but it's actually framed as a fan and printed as a fan.
I like the frame as well. How much was that?
20.
It's not a lot, is it?
I thought that was quite sweet.
From the sweet to the swirly.
You've got a bit... Look at that
I
today.
love this, don't you? Denby ware. Have you ever seen it?
Not in that pattern.
I love it. And this was only 17 quid.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
I mean, it's not a lot of money, really.
And Denby's on the way up, isn't it?
It is. Well, I think it's quite collectible. And these are Danish, and they've got their maker's name underneath. There's a set of 4.
OK, so 2 more.
Yeah.
I could see those retailing for 80 quid.
Oh, well, if they're going to retail for 80 quid, I'm going to lose money.
How much did you pay?
55.
Well, you
for
could make a
4.
small profit.
Well, I've shown you mine. Now show me yours.
No funny faces to camera. You little fibber. You're jumping around inside.
No, I'm not. I'm just looking. Oh, God. Oh, this is nice.
That is an absolute belter.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Coromandel.
Oh, that's lovely, actually. It's just the sort of thing I like. I mean, it was cheap, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. They had 28 quid on the ticket.
Oh, my gosh, no money at all.
I got it for £20.
Oh, well, there's nothing. I mean, there's got to be a profit in there.
There's got to be a profit. Little Chinese rice paper painting.
Oh, that's pretty.
Sweet, isn't
Of
it?
a little junk.
I mean, you'd estimate that 20 to 30 quid, whatever, wouldn't you?
Would you?
I would.
I don't think you would. I think you would go in a job lot.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Because these sort of things are very collectible if you have a set of them.
Yes.
I mean, a single one on its own is, I think, difficult to sell.
Well, we shall see. Chinese.
Oh, you and you Chinese, you're just desperate to find something that's going to make a lot of money.
No, I just like
you are,
it.
Will.
I just like it.
Yeah, put it away.
Thank you. That wasn't a lot of money.
No, jolly good.
Now this, in one shop, I bought the bronze head.
Yes. Oh, no. Oh, you've glued it?
No.
Is this allowed in the rules?
And in the other shop, the lady had a cane with no head.
Here's one I made earlier.
I stuck it together with double-sided sticky tape.
But you don't think it's modern?
Look at that.
Oh, there may be trouble.
It's like Fred and Ginger, isn't it?
So the total price of this?
55. As a specky little lot, someone might give me 60.
Specky little lot. Oh, God.
That's a technical
this
term.
time next year we're going to be millionaires.
We'll be millionaires, Mark.
Listen,
And,
well done.
Good work, mate.
Onward
I've
and
enjoyed
downward.
it again, and I look forward to the
Me
auction.
too. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Will.
Good work.
Listen, we're fun and we're still friends, yeah?
Well, they might well say that, but what do they really think?
I must say, looking at the table on the reveal, I was kind of more happy with my items than his.
The walking stick is genius, absolute genius. To marry a 19th century cane with what I think is a very modern cast skull is genius.
I'm fairly confident that this auction will be mine.
It's time to get back on the road and head to the den of antiquity, Chiswick Auctions. On the third leg of their road trip, our Doughty dealers have crossed the breadth of Kent and into London, starting in Deal and ending in Chiswick for the auction.
But the main thing is we are having fun.
We are having fun, and we're round and round and round and round.
I know, or even a roundabout. a roundabout and a roundabout.
Don't worry, guys. I'll do the talking. Chiswick, a well-to-do suburb of West London and the birthplace of Dame Helen Mirren, provides the end to the third leg of our road trip.
This is it.
Here we are, Mark. Let's rock this sale room.
Well, I'll rock something anyway. Come on.
Chiswick Auctions have been in business for only 15 years, but have gained an excellent reputation and are frequently featured on TV. They specialise in fine art, antiques and collectibles. The man at the helm of today's auction, with his gavel at the ready, is William Rouse.
We've got a set of 4 rosewood dining chairs, which are just the sort of thing which is in vogue at the moment. People like retro items. There's also a very nice Coromandel book slide, which isn't necessarily always the most commercial of items from terms of practicality, but it's a really nice quality thing, and quality tends to sell.
Quite right. Mark Stacey set out on this leg with £188.14p and forked out 139 smackers on 6 items for his 5 lots. Will Axon began this leg with a lowly £144.32p and once again spent all but a few pennies also on 6 items that comprise 5 lots.
You're flattering.
No.
No?
Confident.
Really?
Right, chaps, let battle commence. First up is Will's chinoiserie platter, circa 1840.
I've got interest in it on the book. I'm sure you'll be pleased to know, and I'm straight in at £15.
Oh, well, that's good.
£15. 18, 20, 22, 25. 25 is bid. 28 I'll take. 28, 30, 32. In the doorway then at £32. £32. You all done and finished at £32. 32.
Well done, Will. I was surprised at that.
A steady £12 profit for Will's platter. Good start. It's Mark's garden seat next, with pierced decoration.
Interest in this on the book? I'm straight in at £35.
Ooh, that's
40
all
is the
right.
next bid. 35, 40, 45. 45 is bid then at £45. Anybody else then? At £45. I'm going to sell it then 45.
A healthy £25 profit for Mark. This is going rather well.
45. I thought it might have been a bit more to started to bid then, weren't they? But
Then they realised what they were doing.
Now, boys. It's time for Will's bronze sensor case.
What's it worth? Start me £30 for this lot. Speculative lot. I'm bid 30. Thank you.
I was ready for 30.
35, 38, 40, 42, 45, 48, 50, £50. £50 in the middle of the room at 50. Anybody else then? Are you all done and finished at £50? I'm going to sell the lot at 50 it goes.
You were quite lucky there, Will.
I was not.
I'm not sure about luck, but I do know it's another profit for Will.
I told you we were going to have a good day.
Cheer up, Mark. It's your fan-shaped engraving next.
What's it worth? Start me £30 a lot. £20 a lot to go for £20 surely for this framed fan. Anybody? Oh dear, £10 start me. I'm bid 10 here. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. £22 in front of me. Anybody else then at £22?
Oh, it's not a shame.
22, 25 there. 28, 30, 32, 35, 38, 40, 42, 45, 45 there. Further away there, 45. A bit better, more respectable, £45.
That was close.
I think you bought a change of trousers.
Fear not, Mark. You're on a roll. Another £25 profit.
Oh, I thought that was going to struggle for a second.
You hoped it was going to strike.
I did not.
No, of course you didn't, Will.
45, 45.
No, I think the viewers can make up their own mind.
That's you told, Will. Handbags at the ready. Let's see if the auction room gets as excited about the book slide as you did, Will.
Nice quality object, and I'm straight in at £60. £60 I'm bid. 65, 70, 75, 80 is my last, 85 in the room.
You see, that's no good.
Need someone to go with him now.
£85 in the room. Anybody else want to come in? I can sell the lot. 85 it goes then.
I think that's a jolly good price.
Well, how's sporting of you, Mark? A cracking result for Will there. Do I smell a profit here? It's Mark's scent flask and dressing table jar.
Must be worth £30, £15 each of them. 30 I'm bid. 32. 32 I'm bid at £32. Come along. £32 is all I'm bid. Seems so cheap, I can't believe it. 35, thank you. 35 there. In the middle of the room, 38. It's amazing where they all come from. 40, 42, £42, here we are. At £42, you all done and finished? £42.
I was very lucky with that one.
A £15 profit, Mark, but you'll need to do better to win this auction. Eyes up, it's Will's pith painting next.
Somebody likes it, I've got a start-off bid of £30 with me.
That's all right.
Pleased with that.
Bid of 30. 32 I'll take in the room. It's with me then on a commission bid of 30. Anybody else want to come in against commission with me then at £30? I'm going to sell it at 30. Sold.
A commission bid is a bid left by someone who can't be at the auction. How will the Chiswick bidders react to Mark's big purchase, the Danish dining chairs?
Somebody offered me £20 to start me. £20 for the 4 chairs. No, it's absolutely... £10 then.
Uh-oh.
Bruno, can't resist a bargain. 12, OK, suddenly things are beginning to move.
Someone's had a go at it.
Too much. Dear, oh dear. £12, £14 from the blue. 16. £16 standing then at £16, oh dear. £16, I'm going to sell them.
Oh dear indeed, the dining chairs were a sitting duck. That's a loss of £39.
Mark, I thought you were unlucky with him.
Well, that's the way it goes, isn't it? It's life.
Now, how will the bidding go on Will's last lot of the day, his cleverly amalgamated skull and cane?
This is a nice bit of fun, isn't it?
Yes,
and,
it is.
Somebody likes it. I'm straight in at £40. Me at £40. 40. I've got bids everywhere. They're leaping to bid on it. 45, 50.
They all want it.
60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 110.
This is ridiculous.
130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190.
Oh, it's a good thing, Mark.
It's not a good thing.
There. Thanks for the bid. At £200. Anybody else want to come in? Unusual lot, £200. I'm going to sell it.
Oh, I now know what it feels like.
I think it's brilliant, Will.
Say it like you mean it, Mark. A stonking profit for Will. Bravo! It's Mark's last chance to catch up, but his Denby pottery vase will have to go some for him to stand a chance of victory at today's auction.
There we go. We've got £20 for this. For the Denby vase, 20. 20 on bid here. 22, 25, 28, 30. In front of me here at £30. Still at 30.
What's the profit?
Then at £30. I'm going to sell it for 30.
Well, it's a profit, Will.
Little consolation there for Mark after auction costs. That's a small profit and nowhere near enough to win today, as Will takes the spoils. It's been a tremendous auction for our new boy of knickknacks against the titan of treasure. So the tables have turned. Mark started this leg with £188.14p and after costs made a disappointing £6.96p profit, giving him £195.10p to play with on the next leg. Will Axon, though, went forth and multiplied. He kicked off this leg with £144.32p and after auction costs made a whopping £181.54p and starts next time with a bumper £325.86p. Well done.
What a contrast, William.
My first taste of victory, Mark.
Yeah, but it was quite a taste of victory as well, you know. But it's raining. Shall we go?
Get in the car.
So, we've got a real contest now. In your own time, Will. Next time on the Antiques Road Trip, Mark Stacey can't refuse an amuse-bouche.
Oh, lovely. I'll come back here again.
Whilst Will Axon's just easily amused.
It's sure to be one of the highlights